You've joined us on Starting Up. Well, time now for our brand new segment on the show. It's called Bootstrap, and this is where we try and address all your how-tos to help you with all the questions that you might have when it comes to building your own venture. This week, we're going to try and help you with choosing and booking your domain name. Survi Goyal is here with the answers.
So you've decided what you want to name your company. Next up is finding the right domain name and going ahead and booking it. But what are the key things that you must keep in mind while booking the perfect domain name?
The name SlideShare was available, so that was the basic criteria. And apart from that, the connect with slides and presentations is very strong. So we were looking for something which was available and which kind of plays the product very quickly in the minds of prospective users and customers.
Right. So typically when you're selecting a domain name, it's recommended that it be short. Shorter domain names are better. It should contain lesser words. So typically domain names will comprise of 3 or 4 or 5 words. Obviously not going to be as memorable as something that contains a single word or 2 words in most circumstances.
So there are 3 factors to consider while registering a domain name. The first factor is brandability. Brandability is essentially about whether your domain name represents your brand well. Second factor is essentially the rankability of the brand. Does your domain name rank well, when somebody goes and looks for it on search engine? And the final factor to consider when buying a new domain is, the cost. Because .com domains, .in domains are typically less expensive.
The next question is, what exactly should one go for? .com, .in or .net? And considering so many people are using search engines to locate websites these days, does the top level domain name really matter?
So, conventionally .com is definitely more valuable than .in. People recognize websites as .com. So if you're India focused on the website, or you have a focus on a couple of different geographies, you want to have it to be India, you might want to create a microsite for India, you use a .in there. .in might give you SEO advantages if you're India focused again. But otherwise, if you have if a domain is not available in .com, you might choose to go for .in. But if you have a .com option, and even if you have to pay premium for it, you might as well go for .com.
Great. So you have decided what domain name you want to buy. Next step is actually going ahead and buying it. And here's how you do it.
So you would typically go to a domain name registrar. BigDog.com is one of them. There are several other registrars. Just find a domain name registrar site where you can go to purchase domain name. It's a fairly simple series of steps. You just check availability. Is the first step. You check for your domain name if it's available. You typically buy the domain name along with potentially a couple of other variants. So if it's available in .net or and in, you might want to buy all 4 of them just to prevent anybody else from squatting on your brand. So basically, conventionally while checking availability for a domain name, you'll typically come across many scenarios where domain name you want is not available because somebody else has registered it. And in several circumstances, a lot of people have registered domain names for the purpose of selling them back in the secondary markets. You can actually buy these domain names from the existing owners of that domain name. Typically, prices range from a couple of $100, couple of $1,000 all the way to tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars, depending on how short the name is, how desirable it is.
There you go. All the information you need for booking that domain, how to choose one, what top level domain to use, and most importantly, how to go ahead and actually buy it. You're all set now to build the next $1,000,000.com.
Next week, Survi will be here to take us through all the factors that you need to keep in mind when you go about registering your startup.